Stone Age. When you hear me say that, do you see a caveman holding a stone, scraping meat off of bones? That's what everybody sees when you hear the Stone Age, right? Okay, that's programming. We've been programmed. Okay, look, the materialist rulers in education taught us about certain ages. Right now we're in the digital age, okay? But before that was the atomic age. I was in the atomic age. See, here's the digital age, there's the atomic age. During the atomic age, they told me that the age before that was the Iron Age. Then before that was the Copper Age. Then the Bronze Age. And then before that was the Stone Age. Caveman. So anything before the Bronze Age is a bunch of cavemen idiots. No. The Stone Age is actually the greatest age of all. And it lasted for thousands of years. Thousands of years of free energy. Okay? That's the Stone Age. But they want you to think that it was not intelligent. They put it in your head that stone. No. Stone masonry has been happening for thousands of years. Incredibly. Okay? There were 2 Stone Ages. Okay? The first Stone Age was Atlantis. Okay? We've been here 120,000 years. Cro-Magnon man. That's who we are. Science changes everything as it goes to change our agenda because we're figuring out things. 120,000 years ago is when Adam and Eve came. Alright? Alright, now, that's Cro-Magnon man. Alright? And they did a study called the Children of Eve, that they took DNA from all cultures throughout the earth and traced it back to one woman in Africa. And there's a tribe in Africa for that woman was from, that they say we all came from there. And it has to do with DNA study, not just somebody making up some stuff, okay, because of ego or whatever. Wow. Okay, so that 120,000 years ago, up to the time of the Tower of Babel, because I use the Bible as a history book, because that's what it is. The Old Testament is. The New Testament is altered for you to believe some lies. But anyways, the Old Testament is like a history book. So from 120,000 years ago to the Tower of Babel, where God split our brain so that it divided us. Before that, there's no killing from Seth to the Tower of Babel. We're not killing each other. Now, his sons and grandsons are doing stuff, but we're not, okay? And so, this was a free energy, peaceful time, the Atlantis age, okay? We were everywhere all over the earth. All cultures, everything, everywhere, all over. I mean, watch, I'm going to show you something, okay? I'm going to show you some stuff here. Okay, look. I'm going to go off a little bit. Okay, they don't want us to know about the moon, because I say it's a giant crystal. That's why there's all this bullshit about the moon. They say that they brought rocks from the moon. They don't want us to know what it is. The rocks that they showed us were meteorites that fell in the Antarctic. Okay, that's what those rocks were. They were they weren't from the moon. They don't want us to know it's a giant crystal. It shines like a glass ball. It stays fixed on us all the time because it's positive, all positive. It's not a magnet like the Earth. The Earth is a big magnet. It's electrical. The Earth has got energy. The moon's got energy too, but it's all positive. There's no negative. The Earth's got negative, that's why it spins. It's got a pole. Negative is north, and it spins around the pole. There's no pole for the moon. If scientists say the pole, the North Pole, the moon, there's no pole to the moon. The moon don't have a pole. It's just a crystal ball that stays fixed on us because it's positive. Anyways, I got other videos on that. But they don't want us to know about that. They don't want us to know about the giants. Okay? This guy here is they. He's saying shh, shh. They don't want us to know about the giants. Okay? Who built this stuff. Who knew all this technology. Who we were the giants also. Okay? I'll explain some more of that. But let me show you something about this. Okay. This is way ancient. Way ancient. Tens of, hundreds of, thousands of, not hundreds, tens of thousands of years old. This here, we did it, not ancient aliens. We did it. Okay, the ancient aliens were the gods, the archons. They're no more. There's no archons, entities either. That's a bunch of baloney. Okay, they're gone. No more archons, right? No more gods. Well, check it out. Now, like I said, this culture, the Atlantis culture of the first Stone Age was all over the earth, everywhere. Okay, just like the second Stone Age. But we're talking the first one first. Okay, so now what's this? So at the Grand Canyon, okay, at the Grand Canyon, there's temples called the Isis Temple and Osiris Temple, and on top of these monuments, which look, you could see, they're cut in perfect. They're not. They were made. They were man-made and then messed up. But the top is copper melted. Copper turns turquoise. There's that copper dome. The knowledge of the power, the knowledge of the copper, right? Well, you could see that and like, what the heck? It's Egyptian. They call it Isis. Then inside the cave, there's caves in there that was found that the Smithsonian Institute is lying and saying it doesn't exist and won't let us go to see. Well, if it don't exist, how come you don't let us go see? Right? Well, you know how liars do. And so there's Egyptian artifacts in there, like big time. On the walls, written Egyptian hieroglyphs, even Asian. They got a Buddha-looking guy in there too, right? So this is showing us that the culture was all over the earth, and that those temples are there, it's a fact, but there's something else. Okay, these giant stones are not the same as the dirt that's all over everywhere. Where did they get these stones from? This guy was looking from from Google Earth and he saw something weird on the top of the Grand Canyon, on the edge of it, zoomed in, went over there, did a video on it and everything. Giant blocks as big as a bedroom, some as big as a house, are carved, cut, just like that, okay? Limestone, sandstone, what's got quartz in it, cut perfect, it's a quarry, perfectly cut everywhere, right? Perfectly cut, you could see it. Wow. Were they getting those stones and taking them across the earth over here to put over here, getting them from the Grand Canyon where there's more Egyptian stuff there? Because they knew a way how to do anti-gravity to move things across. This is super intelligence. People can't even figure this out. Anyway, so, okay. So, that's what I was talking about here. Now, when I say crystal, all positive, it has to do with this. All positive, Christ, all positive, all Christ, crystal. Crystals are powerful. They're in everything. They're in watches, cell phones, computers. They store energy. Positive. It's positive. All right. So, this was the first Stone Age. Okay? This age. And then our brain got split at the Tower of Babel by this God who was the real devil, who gave himself the title God, who was an archon, the first material soul of this universe, whose name is Yaldabaoth. Right? He was the head god of all the other gods of the cultures. He's the same guy. He's the same dude. Right? So, this guy comes down. He sees what we're doing. We built like the song that's in the last video, you know. Built a tower in the sky. Minds enabled us to fly. Living on water, wheeling everything by moonlight. Living on water. Atlantis was in the main part of Atlantis was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It was a floating city. And I'm not going to get all into that, how I know this, because of indigenous tribes said this and all that. Anyways, it was a floating city in a song. Okay? Well, so, living on water, wheeling everything by moonlight, brotherhood of man, peace and harmony. That's what's about that song, where imagine, John Lennon wrote a song called Imagine, which to me is the greatest song ever written. Not the greatest music ever written, but the greatest song ever written. The lyrics in the song, okay? That's the greatest song to me. And so, I did a song called The Interpretation of It. Anyways, we get away from that. So, he split our brain. This God split our brain. Come now, let us go down there and confuse their language, for they may not listen to one another. He went down there to split our brain, because we were united with united minds. We were one mind. We were one and the same. He messed that up by splitting our brains, divided us, Then you'll see, if you read the Bible from the Tower of Babel on to now, is when we've been killing each other the whole time. Okay? Now check it out. So, before he split our brain was the time of Atlantis, where it was the bombest time we ever lived. Because it was peaceful, free energy, no slaves. That was the time. But then when he split our brain and divided us, we're against each other. From all different groups start grouping up, and instead of unity, it's division. That's what the split, dividing the brain, division. Okay? So then we still have this technology. Okay? And it changed, and it turned to like this, with the Tartarian buildings. So then this is the Tartarian age. The second Stone Age is the Tartarian age, which we still can see both ages today. Okay? The Tartarian age. So now, after the brain split and the Tartarian age came, there was slavery. There was slavery from the splitting out of our brain. There was slavery all the way up to, what is it? Up to around 1870, with the Civil War, you know, and ending slavery. That was the last slavery. From that slavery, 1870, going back in time, there's been slavery everywhere. The whole earth is slavery. Slavery, slavery, slavery. I've been looking up, and they were saying, oh, slavery was common. Oh, I was a slave for this long. This guy. It's common. It was common. Slavery everywhere. Okay? From that time back. Slavery all the time. But there was free energy. They weren't pimping us for the energy back then. For thousands and thousands of years. Free energy. They just had us as slaves. That's how they were usurping us, was as slaves, doing everything, and don't have to pay them. But then, after slavery ended, like 1870, right around there, well, that's 30 years to 1907. Okay? 70, 80, 90, 100, that's 30 years to 1900. Well, 1907 is when Rockefeller said, they're not going to pay. They have to pay for energy. They got to pay for it. Why? That's how I know that that before that was free energy. I've seen old pictures of America, like Chicago and this and that aren't on the internet, like in an office somewhere, that they have an old, that they didn't get destroyed or taken away. There's no wires or nothing, and it's old, and it's all Tartarian buildings, badass, and there's no wires anywhere, and there's no smoke coming out of the cars. It's free energy. We're living with free energy. Since that time, 1900 back, we had free energy. Okay? It was always free energy. Why else is he going to say, they have to pay for the energy? If we were already paying for it, he wouldn't have to say that. So it just started not even long ago. But now, 30 years after slavery, and then all of a sudden, that's like a blink of an eye, then all of a sudden, we got to pay for electricity, no more free energy. And in the last videos and the other videos, I showed you how they destroyed the buildings everywhere. They're still destroying them, right? But they're keeping the ones for them. Are they getting free energy? Huh? Right? And so, since then, since after slavery, 30 years, no more free energy, no slavery. Because they're pimping us from making us, they're getting money from us and usurping us from energy, paying bills, sucking from us, right? That's how they're doing it. We're still slaves, we just don't have the chains on us or the whips. But we're still ignorant, walking around slaves, paying all these bills, paying for this energy, right? Do you see this? Freedom, but we got to pay for energy. We don't got to pay for energy, free energy, flying around, every kind, free energy totally. But we're slaves. Okay? Get this? No one's ever said this, right? I don't think so. I didn't hear anyone say it anywhere. Okay, so so the second Stone Age is the Tartarian age, the second Stone Age. Okay, now in my videos when I do, I find missing links, right? Missing links. Okay, so missing links is like, I'm doing a video and there's something missing right here. I try to connect all the dots. I got all the dots connected now. Every dot's connected. Well, so I'm trying to connect these dots. There's something missing. Once one dot's missing, there's a missing link. Found it. Okay, here it is. Right here. Geopolymer concrete. Geopolymer concrete. Geopolymer concrete is an ancient concrete that gets harder and harder as time goes on. Duh. There it is. This is my missing link. Because now look, I talked about how they move these bricks over here with anti-gravity, right? That's one way to do it. And then of course they got the kick-ass lasers or whatever to cut through and cut the rock, right? Okay, wow. There it is, the missing link. We don't know how they did it. Here's another way they did it. They could do it. They could have did it. It's possible. Major because of this, right? We don't know how they did it. It's incredible. You can't even put a razor blade or a piece of paper between the two bricks. There's no mortar there. We don't know how they did it. You make a frame as big as a house, as big as a room. You make a frame, right? Like a box frame without a bottom or a top, but just the walls around, the size of the brick you want to be. And then you just pour this concrete into it, and it solidifies hard into stone that keeps getting harder and harder and harder as time goes. Then you just take off the frame. Now you get rid of one of the frames, and then you put this frame here, this frame here, and this frame here, and here's the brick. And now you pour the mortar in to the next brick, right next to, against the other brick. It's gonna get solid and it's gonna be together like that. And you can't put a razor blade or a paper through it after it solids up. And you just keep doing that. It's possible. That gives me more things to figure out. All the antiquity that was on here, see, what they'll do to one of these Tartarian buildings, if you look at the old pictures of Tartaria, there's a good, I'll get to that. If you look through the old pictures of Tartaria, you just look for old photos. Now older ones are coming. And you see these 8 buildings that they tore down, they destroyed. They were Tartarian buildings. They were incredible. They got antiquity, kick-ass stuff everywhere. And you wonder, how did they do that? Holy, what the heck? Missing link. This geopolymer concrete, they call it eternal concrete. It's eternal. They call it eternal concrete, which nobody uses today, right? This is concrete. It's like clay. It's like, right? You get another substance. Come on, we got trillions of substances on this earth. We can find a substance. Another substance that makes it white and more doughy, more like putty, like clay. Now you can mold these white statues perfect. And it's going to harden it keeps getting harder over time. Duh! That's how you can do it, okay? Right? And you can make a mold. You know, you see the Tartarian building, got this kick-ass. They all look the same. You can make a mold of that. Then take it up there. It's possible. Now we're figuring out, now we know how it's possible because of this missing link. Alright? So, so that's, okay, that missing link. Okay, now, let's see, let me see where I'm at. Okay, I'm just going to go to these pigs. Just for a little bit of funniness, I'm going to come over to this pigs. Okay, see these 3 little pigs? Remember the story about 3 little pigs? Okay, little kids, man, when there's like horrible stuff going on, you know, it's horror and they get through it way better than the grown-ups. They'll start making up songs and playing. They're still going to play. If the Black Plague's going on in Europe, the Black Plague killing everybody, the kids are still going to play. And then they make up nursery rhymes. They hold hands and go in a circle. And they go, Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posy. Achoo, we all fall down. Ring around the rosy. That's what the bubonic plague looked like. It was a ring around the rosy. It stunk. You smelled. So pocket full of posy. Rose petals to kill the smell. Achoo, achoo. It wasn't ashes, ashes. It's achoo, achoo. We all fall down dead. That nursery rhyme, right? Yeah. Okay. Remember the 3 little pigs, right? Okay. This is not like a story or a song. It's like a story, but it's more of a like, you just see it and figure it out. Like, okay, this little pig made a house of sticks. This little pig made a house of straw. Okay, these 2 little pigs are believers. These little pigs right here are believers. 3 little pigs. These guys are believers. They make a house of sticks, a house of straw. Okay? The materialist world rulers is the big bad wolf who could blow, huff and puff and blow their house down. But the Tartarian idealist who make the house of brick, stone, he can't do that to them. Okay? That's all. That's all the 3 little pigs thing is, right? Okay. Anyway, so now let me get over here to, because I saw something. Okay. Now I found some more cool stuff. Okay. First, I wanna what do you call it? Endorse somebody. There's a dude who just got he's got his channel up. It's called The Truth. It's easy. The Truth. But it's not capital, it's lowercase The Truth. Now it's a little hard to find him. You gotta put stuff in there like Squaxcahonic, Indian, you gotta put Tartaria, because his stuff is kicks ass. Okay, of all the videos I used to look to see pictures from and check it out, I don't listen to them. I don't listen to anybody what their opinion is. But this guy I do, because this guy was saying stuff that they don't say on the other videos that got millions of views. And his channel is just as good, if not better than theirs. Okay? Mine's not all professional like theirs. I'm just normal, regular. I'm not into fancy this and that and fan music. And I'm just here to get the knowledge. That's it. I'm not. But anyways, this guy, he got it badass, right? And he showed all the pictures and stuff in there, and I've seen them. So I'm looking at his stuff now. But he don't have that many views, like 300 views, 200 views. You don't get, like me, I don't get a lot of views right away. You know, I don't have a whole bunch of views. The guys who's telling the bullshit, like David Icke or people like this, which they act like they're good, but they're really propagandists. Just double lie, make you act like you're a good guy, but you're really a bad guy. Anyways, the dudes like that with the millions of views, bunch of baloney. This guy, The Truth, check him out. Because the guys who are telling the truth and coming out with the real thing don't got a whole lot of as many views. But who cares? Just check it out. Okay, well anyways, was I talking? Oh yeah. Okay, I saw there's a place called Göbekli Tepe. Okay, Göbekli Tepe, something like that. It's supposed to be the most ancient man-made structure in the history that they found so far. It's not. There's other ones way older. There's places way older. But they're saying this, okay? Well, watch how I get them, man. The way my mind is now, what I've been doing and going in and learning the Gnostic Truth, I can catch everything. I'm catching it all, right? So these guys are talking about Göbekli Tepe, okay? 12,000 years old, okay? There's how they show us how they found out how it's 12,000 years old. They dug to the bottom of the base of the things going up. And then they measured the sedimentary dirt from the base to here where it's sticking out. And calculated that the sedimentary buildup was 12,000 years of buildup. Okay? But then they say, contradicting themselves so stupid later, they go, they buried it first. We don't know why they buried it, like they didn't want nobody to know about it. 12,000 years ago, you know they buried it? And why would they bury it? And if they buried it, then that means the sediment is even more. That means the sediment for 12,000 years is going to be more. It's going to be like twice as old. Get out of here. They didn't bury it. Why did they say that? They say that people rat themselves out. They don't even know how to lie right, you know? And so, why did they say that? Okay, now, all right, 12,000 years old? Okay, well, watch this. The Sphinx, right, was always buried up to the neck. That's sediment from thousands of years. Then they dug down and unearthed it. And it's way deeper than that old ep70 tech bay. And they're saying it's 10 and 12,000 years old too, right? Okay. That's how they're trying to date it with the sediment buildup. Okay. If you dig up all the dirt to the same level of the Sphinx over where the pyramid is, the pyramid's going to be way down here. It goes farther down and it's bigger. Because it was probably made at the same time that the Sphinx was made. At the same level. So if they dig around the pyramid, they're going to find a way down here. Huh? Huh? Does it make sense? Okay, now watch. These buildings. Oh, it was built in, it was founded in 1865. In 1840 we founded that building. The building was founded in 1900. The building was founded in 1889. The building was founded, I wrote that word over here, founded. It sounded like some hick says, like, so who built this building? Oh, I don't know who built it. We founded it. We founded it right here. Founded. Found. They found it. They created the word founded. It was founded. We found, so they don't get sued or so. Who knows what the heck, why? Stupid. But it was found. All those Tartarian buildings were built hundreds and thousands of years ago that were in America, all over the earth, everywhere. They're everywhere. And they're still destroying them. They're still destroying them one by one. They're going around still trying to get rid of them. We already know. Okay? And so, founded. All right? Now watch this. Okay. Here is a Tartarian building. Okay? The dome, the copper dome that they take off all the time. The antenna that gets the ether from the earth, from the sky. All right? Now look. They talk about the mud flood. Okay, mud flood. Let me get into this mud flood thing. Okay, mud flood. How is there a mud flood? Sand doesn't rain from the sky. Only water comes from the sky to flood. Sand doesn't fall from the sky. So how the heck is it? I have this other thought. I don't say theory. I don't believe anything. But an idea of how it was possible could have been. That this mud flood thing. Wow. Catastrophes happen all over the earth. Big, huge. A big stone hitting the earth. Right? Knocking out the dinosaurs. A big flood coming down. What about a big giant windstorm all around the whole earth? A windstorm. We put sand everywhere in the sky all over the earth. And then it rains. Now we got water and sand makes mud. Now we got mud coming down. That could make a mud flood. Okay? That could be. But who cares? Sedimentary builds up throughout the years all the time anyways. And they say, that's not it because we built that in 1855. It wouldn't have, no, because you didn't build it. You founded it. We founded it. You found it. All right? You didn't build it. It's been there for hundreds, thousands of years. You see old picture of Tartarian buildings? There they are all by themselves, and there's weeds and nothing around. Because all the other buildings got destroyed. But they kept that one. So they could use an asylum. Way out here, far away, the asylum, far away where nobody knows. And they could take these orphan kids over there and start education in 1880, 1890. Start education which is a lie of history, to make them believe that, and they do this everywhere, they're doing it everywhere, so that the next generation of the reset believes some bullshit. Okay? All right. Now, so now, when I said that, again, back to this. Okay, so then, look at this one right here. Okay, see if you can see it. I'll put it in the back, like I always do in the video. Okay, if this is the ground level of this Tartarian building, there's no steps. The giant, and their giant doors and the giant just walks through. Okay, and the windows on the base got a base. Okay, but when you see one that 1/3 of the window sticking out of the ground, and then we got these steps. 1/3 of the window sticking out of the ground, and this one guy said red bricks, high steps, entrances, and low windows underground. Okay? Oh, by the way, those red bricks, that when everybody says brick, you see a red brick in your hand? It's in our mind like that. Because this red brick is ancient. It goes way back, that brick. This freaking ancient brick. Anyways, it goes along with all the other bricks and... Anyways, okay, whatever. So, so I said that. Let me get back to this. So here we go. So there's the ground level where the black is, and around the steps. Okay? Well, let's see right there. So like the same I was talking about, dig down. I bet you if you dig down to this level where the base is of the window, dig down to there, but keep digging around the steps. I bet you there's steps right here, underground, that's buried up. Duh! Wouldn't the steps start from the bottom of the base? It's buried up. How come they never dig around the steps right here? I never see no videos, no pictures, anybody digging around the steps. So then, this base, from here to here, videos I've seen, of pictures I've seen, you calculate the distance for that sedimentary, and you find out the age of this building, when they built it, for real. And when I look at the sediments of that and everything, it's like 2,000 years, 1,800 years. These buildings are ancient, old. Okay? They were founded. So that's what's up, what I'm talking about. You know, how you can find out how old the building is. You know, this missing link stuff, the concrete. Wow, cool stuff is, I'm finding out things every day. Okay, let me see down here. Yeah, that, of these buildings, these kind of Tartarian buildings, there's never any blueprint on how to make them, how they made it. They give the date that they made it. There's never any, there's like no blueprint. There's no construction photos. They show scaffolding and stuff on the building, but the building's already there. They're taking it down. They're either tearing it down or they're painting it. The World's Fairs with those buildings were way, those giant cities, Tartarian cities were everywhere. People are dead. People got wiped out from disease. All the Tartarians, the Susquehannock Indians got wiped out. I'll tell you about them guys. That's another missing link. Okay, so they're getting wiped out. Man, here I go again, losing it. I hate when I do that. But anyways, supposed to love, not hate. Whew. So, what was I talking? What was I saying? Oh yeah. The World's Fairs, like Chicago World Fair, New York, all the World's Fairs, all over the earth. Those were out here. They kept people away from those places. They kept them away. And then they said, we're going to build a World's Fair over here. They keep them away, right? All they did was go over there, because people didn't know that they'd been there for thousands of years. All they did was go paint them white. Paint it all old. It's all old because of hundreds of years of what's been going on, of people dying and this and that. My last video explains that part. Anyways, so, or the one before. Anyways, so then they go, we're having a World's Fair, and they invite everybody from all over the earth to come and check it out after they painted it all. And they say, we made it with plaster and all that. Shut up. And then after it's over, they demolish it. This is their little tricky plan, their sneaky way to get rid of the Tartarian giant civilization buildings. You look at the old maps of Tartaria, there's cathedrals everywhere, all over the earth. These guys were everywhere. Okay? Right? So where am I? Okay. So yeah, there's no construction evidence. But then check this out. Check this out. Yeah, there's this. Okay, here's something that came to new that I just found out about. They're still trying to bullshit us. Look at, they're saying that they built a Tartarian building in 1984. I can't remember what state or city it was at, but I'm sure they kept it away. Like, you can't go down this road. It's far. It's supposed to be an asylum or something, which is far away. Like, you know, that was there for thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years. But they're saying that this I think she was 25 years old, a 25-year-old architect who never built anything in her life, in 1984 had that built. But there's no records, and then the blueprints got lost. There's no records of how she built it or who built it, and we're supposed to believe this. Okay? Where is she now? She was 25 in 1984, so she's older now. Where is she? Did she even exist, or did they just make up her name about that? Yeah, they're lying, man. It's a lie. Let's see. Yeah, asylums, the orphan trains, all that stuff goes together. Okay. All right. It looks like I got through here. Let's see, so I don't bore you. All right. Yeah. So, let's see. So then. Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay. Remember I tell you, like Christ says stuff. Okay. Christ also said, he goes, those apostles were with him, and they're looking at this big Tartarian building. They're like, how incredible this building is and how they made it. Wow. And Christ prophesied about now, and he goes, there'll be a day when not one stone will be on top of the other. Talking about the era that just went to destroy those buildings. Yeah. Okay. Then there's another thing where he says, they're seeing him doing miracles, and he goes, wow, we can do miracles, because he even showed them how to do it. And he goes, in the age of knowledge, greater than these shall ye do. Okay, remember I was talking about the kingdom of heaven spread out the earth, and we could see it everywhere. The technology of the idealists that create that. Okay, greater than these shall ye do. Okay, you know how much work this is going to be? Tons of freaking work. We need giants to do this and stuff. That's a lot of work all over the whole earth. Tesla made this tower that's only like not even 3 stories high, maybe 3 or 4 stories high, about 3 stories high. They produce free energy that he was going to put them all over the earth, maybe 100, maybe 1,000, whatever, and we would have free energy all over the earth to do the same thing that this was doing, to fly around, and free energy, no plugs, no cords, no money. That's what he had going on. Well, guess it. He made it in the material age, because the ideal age didn't start till 2012, December 21st. So now only being truthful and telling the truth is going to be successful. Lying ain't going to work anymore. We're out of the material age. We're in the ideal age. So they didn't let his thing come out. They didn't go, but it's enough that he brought that we know how to do. We can do it. And people are inventing so many things right now that you hear about all the people who invented stuff that they killed, right? They can't kill them all now. Everyone's coming out with stuff that's going. We're going to end up with free energy again, like at the end of the song where it said. At the end of the song says that we're one and the same again. Our brain and our mind comes back together. Stuff like this. Like this book would get your brain and mind back together. This unites the left and the right and puts the inner and outer mind. This book has been doing a lot for a lot of people. Yeah. And then these are the real prophecies of Christ. Not the Bible prophecy baloney. And other Gnostic scriptures are altered and messed up, like Marvin Meyer's Bible, The Gnostic Bible, that's so, don't even read that. It's all baloney. This God's the truth, okay? And then I got, of course I got some other books. Time or Now, where the crucifix is a T, and now is the cross behind Christ's head, which showing you that the cross is life and the crucifix is death. Okay? And then, oh yeah, you guys know about this calendar, right? Well, guess what? There's a femme calendar now. Okay, the femme calendar. We're coming out with a new calendar. It's called the femme calendar. It's going to be called it's called the feminine menstrual calendar. I don't know exactly what it's called, but you know the exact name. I should know because we've been working on it for so long. But it's made strictly for women. Okay, and another Gnostic is working with me on this project. It's her project. Okay, because I don't menstruate with the moon. She does. She knows, not me. This is the age of man, the age of the Holy Spirit, the age of the femmes, when the femmes come up. Okay, so you're gonna know about her. Gigi, right? I call her the Gnostic. Okay, she is a Gnostic, a real one. Okay, well, she produced this calendar. It's the bomb. It's better than this calendar. Okay, this calendar is for spirituality. See, it's a spirituality calendar, and it's mostly to you know, it's mostly to get you on track with the now. That's why it's called the now calendar. Okay, and off track of time, which the Gregorian calendar got everybody off track. Your birthday's never on the right day, and it's not. Everything's all off. Women are on wackos because they think there's 12 months. There's not. There's 13 months. The moon orbits the Earth 13 times. There's 13 months. Okay, not 12. And so this calendar that she's making is strictly for women. It's got hero women on each page. It's so cool. I don't even want to talk about it. It's cooler than I could talk about. You know what I'm saying? And the prototype is on its way. Like maybe tomorrow. This is how close we got for it to come out. It'll be on the website for people to buy, for women to get. But it's getting a lot of attention. It's good. I mean, it hasn't even come out and it's getting attention. There's other companies or people are digging on it. Anyways, yeah, it's super. And the next video I'm going to do is about the other missing link. They're called man, what a drag, man. I got some 432 frequency playing, right, on YouTube, and then they put a commercial. What is it? For five seconds. Who gives a damn about the 5-second commercial? Anyways, sorry about that, but I don't want to have to redo the video just because it's a stupid commercial. Anyway, so yeah, that calendar is here. Because see, look, this is the age of I was going into something else, but that messed me up, so let me finish this. This is the age of the femmes. Women have been kept down as sex slaves through thousands of years. They have never had any power. Wonder why? I wonder why. Well, God didn't like women, and neither does religion. Wow, here it comes. Here it comes. This is the age when the women come up. And they wake up. This calendar is going to wake them up. It's for them. It's not spiritual. See what I mean? It's way important. It wakes them up. Gigi doesn't get PMS anymore. She doesn't. She's been knowing about this for over a year. We've been working on this for a long time. She's been studying the moon and this and that and watching her pyramid with the moon, her period and all that. She don't get PMS no more. Alright? Anyway, okay. So the next video I'm going to do is the other missing link, which is the Susquehanna Indians. The Susquehannock Indians. They were white Indians. Tall, 8 feet, 9 feet tall. Okay? They had red hair, blonde hair, light eyes. They were light complected. They were light Indians. They ruled America for hundreds and maybe thousands of years. They're the ones that built all of this. Believe it or not. Yeah, that's who was ruling America. They try to erase them. Like they try to erase Tartaria. They try to erase the Susquehanna Indians. The Susquehanna. Okay, that's going to be the next video I do. But once the calendar is ready, I'm not going to do that video. And as soon as that calendar is ready to go, I'm going to do a video on the calendar. Okay, so that's what will be happening. It's super. It's super. Okay, so yeah. So the thing to know here is the only reason. It has nothing to do with ego or race or we're greater than you or anything. None of that stuff. The only reason why they don't want us to know. The only reason why they don't want us to know about the Tartarian buildings, the pyramids, the stone buildings everywhere to build in stone. The only reason why is because of free energy. That's the only reason. They don't want us to have free energy, which we all know about now. That's the only reason. There's no other reason. Okay? No other reason. And so now that there's no more slavery, now we get rid of this charging us for electricity. We can make it free. We can make them ourselves. There's people making Tesla towers. They make them tall, big ones. If I made 2 Tesla towers and made them in the backyard, then all I have to do for every plug that's in the house, like the vacuum, the plug, you just put a receiver clip on the plug on the vacuum and then tape it up. The receiver clip from the towers outside, and you got free energy. The same with the lights, the same with everything. That can be done. And it's going to happen. People are inventing all kinds of stuff right now. How are they going to stop it all? Then, this age will come back. The 5th age will change. No more slavery. No more paying for energy. Then we'll be like this again, but even greater. Because in this age is when we learn to become a Christ. Believe it or not. It's in the Gnostic scriptures. We are Christ's children. We have to come to know who we are and come into being. That's what's going to happen too. Well, I got a whole bunch of videos on that stuff. So, wow. I guess I got, it looks like I got pretty much. Yeah. So, I think that's good enough. It looks like I got everything. All right? Yeah. Oh, I just want to show you this one thing. When you're in the now, you can be, the now is eternal. It's constant. Time is not. I can be in 2 places at once. I can. Watch. Where I am, okay, right now, you are watching me and looking at me and listening to me right now. You are. But are you? Because right now, I'm talking to a camera. I'm not talking to people. So right now, I'm at this place of time right here now. Here I am. But you're watching me right now. See how I'm in 2 places at once? I just wanted to do that at the end of the video, just joking off. Anyway, so yeah, so there, there's a little bit more of the power now. But yeah, okay. So coolness. I think we got it, man. We got it. So peace, and make the 2 in 1.